Hi, I'm Mandi Pryor and welcome to Spotlight on Pittsburgh. Spotlight on Pittsburgh is a program about Pittsburgh's most fascinating people and what they do to make our city an amazing place to live and work. When we come back, I'll introduce you to VP of Education, Dr. Amanda Laichak of Junior Achievement, and later in the episode, you'll meet Chris Arnold, VP of Human Resources and General Counsel at Schell Games. Thanks and welcome back. Hello, Dr. Laichak. It's so nice to have you on the show today.
Hello, thank you for having me.
So, I guess you can start by just telling me a little bit about Junior Achievement.
Well, Junior Achievement, we are a non-profit organization. We're local, statewide, national, and global that utilize volunteers from the community, oftentimes corporate, but also parents and high school students, to teach our curriculum in grades kindergarten through 12th grade about entrepreneurship, financial literacy, and work readiness.
And so how long have you been involved with Junior Achievement?
I've been there for almost 10 years. I started in October 2010.
And what's your role? What do you do within Junior Achievement, and what's kind of, what's your background?
Absolutely. Well, at Junior Achievement, I'm the Vice President of Education, so I oversee our programming in City of Pittsburgh Public Schools, Allegheny County School Districts, and then the school districts in Washington, Westmoreland, Beaver, Butler, Greene, Armstrong. And I have a fantastic team that helps me to do all of our programming in those school districts. And then we have an office in Erie and Johnstown that also service children in those counties.
And so what's the purpose of Junior Achievement?
Our mission is to inspire and prepare every young person to succeed in the global economy. And we do that through utilizing volunteers which come into the classroom and speak to the students about their careers and their career pathways.
And so you go into a lot of different schools, and you do anything outside of school, like the general school hours?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, because soon we are going to be able to offer JA BizTown to every 4th, 5th, and 6th grader in the region who would like to come to our offices in Bridgeville, where we will have a fully simulated economy. It will mirror the Pittsburgh economy, and they come and they're the workers for a 4.5-hour period. And they get 12 hours of curriculum at their school taught by their teacher prior to coming to visit JA BizTown. And we will have this in full operation in the next few months.
And so, can you tell me a little bit more about what a typical 4-hour session would entail?
Absolutely. So the students, they receive 12 hours of curriculum on entrepreneurship, financial literacy, and work readiness prior to coming to our JA BizTown site. And then they go through our JA BizTown site as workers, as taxpayers, and as consumers. So when they come to JA BizTown, they already know what their job is. They've interviewed for their job in advance, and so they get to interview for a few different jobs, and then they're chosen for one job, and they come, and that is their job for the day, whether they're working at a bank as a bank teller, or maybe they're doing construction, or maybe they're working at another one of our sponsored booths.
And so it's definitely slice of life then.
Absolutely. And we have many fantastic sponsors, one of them being local to the Peters Township area. Miller's Ace Hardware is one of our sponsors, and we'll have a booth for children to work at and learn what it's like, for example, to work at Ace Hardware.
So you'll have a position for Ace Hardware.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Absolutely.
That is great. And so, are the kids you haven't started yet. When do you plan on launching the BizTown?
We are in the process of constructing now. We are hoping to launch either in May, June area or in fall of 2019.
So soon.
Yeah,
very soon.
Absolutely.
And what was the idea behind this? What made, is Junior Achievement doing this? You said you're local, you said you're national. Is this a national level campaign, or is this more just localized to the Bridgeville area?
There are a number of JA area offices across the nation and also across the world, but many of the JA area offices across the nation already have a BizTown that simulates their local economy for children to come and learn about the different types of jobs that are available right in their backyard. But unfortunately, we haven't had one in Pittsburgh at all. So we've been in the process of a capital campaign for several years now. It's been a lot of hard work to get to the point where we are now with our sponsored businesses and our students at the ready to come and learn about the different jobs in the economy. Junior Achievement is a solution provider to the gap that we're currently seeing in the workforce right now. As the Allegheny Conference Inflection Point study pointed out, there is going to soon be a large skills gap, what we call it, in the local workforce, not only with K-12 students maybe not realizing what kind of jobs are in the economy currently, but also with current workers that may need to be reskilled in what they're currently doing in order to fit the demand of jobs that are now found in the local Pittsburgh region.
Because the job demand is changing. It's not going to be exactly what it was when we came out into the market going, we have our degree, all right, let's go.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so we hope at JA BizTown to showcase some of those jobs that will be coming up in the market soon, currently and also in the future.
Any jobs you'd like to mention that are going to come out, or is that more under secret for the reveal?
Secret for the reveal.
All right. And so is it just something that's going to rotate through the schools, or how are the schools going to get involved?
Absolutely. Well, if any school district wants to get involved across our territory, they just need to contact us at Junior Achievement. They can go on our website and find all of our contact information. It's jawesternpa.org. And they can certainly contact us if they would like to sign up their 4th, 5th, and 6th graders to come to JA BizTown.
That's a really great idea, especially for our kids. I think there was some things that even now we're saying is lacking in what we were doing when we were in our schools. Not saying that it was wrong, but it was just, life skills. Some life skills are kind of not there. What about your regular programming in schools? What does that focus on?
So we have a lot of in-school programming. Our in-school programming has been around for a very long time, and we service about 65,000 children a year across our territory, utilizing 3,000 volunteers to actually facilitate that curriculum in the classroom. And what that looks like is schools can sign up for what's called a JA Day, where a group of volunteers comes to a K-5 or a K-8 building, and they teach all 5 or 6 JA lessons per grade level and per classroom for a full school day. It sort of overtakes the school for a day. A lot of schools use it as a career day because the volunteers come in and speak about their careers. And at the high school level and at some K-8 levels, they do JA weekly programming where the volunteers come in once a week over a period of weeks. And we serve pretty much almost all of the school buildings in the Peters Township School District area here locally, with volunteers from everywhere from Washington Financial to Miller's Ace Hardware to State Farm with Megan Chacon.
She's been on the show. She has.
No, we have to give her a toot because our Washington board is phenomenal. With Greg Gold, Janine Fallon, Megan Chacon, and a host of others. And without them, it would be very difficult to do programming in our local region. So we have a lot of fantastic volunteers out there. Our Washington County Board is phenomenal in not only raising the money to do the programming, but actually stepping up to volunteer to get into the classroom and give of their time and talent to our local youth.
I was going to say, how are you recruiting the volunteers?
That is a very good question.
That's a lot of volunteers.
Yes.
And I know there's lots of nonprofits who need lots of volunteers. So
a lot of people are stretched thin because they want to help out a lot of nonprofits. And there's a lot of great causes out there.
Of course.
No doubt. So Junior Achievement, we recruit volunteers in a number of ways. I will say oftentimes it's corporations coming to us because they want to do a team activity with their employees, or they want to give back to their local community and the schools, but they don't exactly know how. So they come to us. And a lot of parents can come and volunteer at their child's local school. And we're always seeking parental support. I know we have some volunteer needs currently in the Peters Township School District, but we are always looking for parents to come and help out as well.
Great. Well, we'll bring you back out here in a little bit. Thanks for the complete overview on junior achievement. I can't wait to see BizTown, especially since my son's getting a little bit older. So sounds wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
To find out more about junior achievement and how to get involved, please go to juniorachievement.org, and we'll have the full Western PA link for you on our Facebook page as well. We will be back in a few minutes. Welcome back. Hello, Chris. Thanks so much for joining me today.
Hey, Mandy. Nice to meet you. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So, the burning question of the day is, tell me a little bit about Schell Games.
Okay, so I'm pretty lucky. I have the best job in the world. I get to work with amazingly talented and fun people to make video games and amusement park rides. We work together. We have about 120 people located in the Station Square in Pittsburgh. Been doing it for about 16 years, and we make everything from mobile games to theme park rides to VR, AR, mixed reality. It's really a little bit of everything, but the bottom line is the people are just amazing.
That's great. And so you've really done some great things with different companies in and around Pittsburgh and globally or nationally.
Yeah, so we've been really lucky to work with some of the premier content providers in the world. So Disney is a long-standing great client of ours, Fred Rogers Productions. Working also with educational institutions like Yale University, the University of Pittsburgh. Really a wide gamut of people interested in making engaging experiences for a wide variety of reasons. Anything from just pure entertainment, making magic is amazing, and then also towards learning and having purposeful games that really mean something and hopefully can change the player in a positive way.
And education is the focus of this episode, so I know that you guys do a lot with education and emotional support and social support within your games. So can you tell me a little bit about how that's working with, the kids out there and the adults who are still kids out there? So
one of the things that Jesse Schell, the founder of the company, really believes in is the power of games, the power of engagement. Interactivity leads to learning, not just within that activity, but outside of it. So the idea, regardless of the type of game that we're making for the client and their own educational goals, would be to convert the things that you learn on the screen or in the world to your behaviors outside. And in order to do that, we need to not only think about the game itself, but think about how people best learn. So we have a team of people that focus not just on gameplay, but really the educational angle of it. So we're one of the few educational game studios in the country or in the world that really has a dedication to effectiveness and studying games to make sure that not only are the games fun and engaging, which is necessary, but not complete. That's not the end. They are teaching something substantial that will last, that will translate to this behavior that people are interested in changing.
I look back at my youth and fraction crunchers.
It
was fun. I learned fractions. That just says like kids can have fun learning.
Absolutely. I know a lot about the Oregon Trail.
Oh.
Based
on
the
dysentery in that game.
It's all over the place. But so the idea is to capture that engagement, that excitement, and to really focus it. And we've done that in a lot of different ways. So you talked about like students, traditional students, learning in high school and maybe even later and earlier in middle school, but all the way towards one of our recent games that we made was with the University of Pittsburgh School of Medicine. So really the idea was to allow doctors more practice in diagnosing very particularly harmful incidents in emergency room settings. So the idea is to get them more repetitions because they're very infrequent, but if they make the wrong decision, goodness gracious, it has disastrous consequences.
Sure.
So to take those lessons, to get them into a game environment where people can play and engage on those on a regular basis would lead to better outcomes. So that's just one of the projects. Other projects that we've worked with for kids in schools is how best to deal with the real pressures that come with being a part of a high school environment or a middle school environment where they might be pressured into behaviors that they really don't have a lot of context in. To allow people to go make bad choices and to see their ultimate impact is pretty powerful. So we've been doing this study, various studies with Yale University Play to Prevent Lab, and those have been very successful, and they're really great, and we continue to work with them.
Well, and I think that's interesting you say that, because I think there is a safe space that it's hard to reach into that mindset and have the kids that age open up.
Absolutely.
And so if they're kind of doing it through something that nobody has to know about.
Well, and this is the
great.
So this is like reaching people where they are. A lot of kids, even in middle school right now, are they're part of the digital age. That's where they are. They're looking at their medium, and to talk to them and to have that channel to them to give them meaningful information in a way that people are listening and engaging with is amazing. So we really like that space, and we think there's a lot of potential for good.
And are there any projects that offhand you can think of that you're especially proud of, or that have really done something different?
Yeah, so goodness. So one of the great things, like I said, we make a lot of entertainment games and a lot of cutting edge technology. So that's in room space VR and mobile VR. But one of the things that really I think represents the promise of what technology can mean to that educational dynamic is a project we called HoloLab Champions. So the idea was that instead of having a full-on chemistry lab, you can create a virtual chemistry lab. And instead of just being in a laboratory learning these techniques, you're on a game show. And it's kind of taking tried and true game design mechanics, in other words, having a competition, having an award, having levels, and engaging dialogue, but really teaching real-world techniques that are more effective and more efficient than having a fully stocked classroom that can do that. And that to us shows the promise of what high tech can mean in the educational space. And so that's been a great success for us. We were lucky to be supported by the Department of Education and receive a grant. And if you want to learn more about it, you can look at our website. So it's a great experience.
Good. And so what are the, you said mobile and you said VR and you said all these other acronyms.
Yeah,
so what are you doing in those?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a word salad. So right now, probably about 80% of our experiences are in some form of immersive reality. And what do I mean by that is, if you think of, AR and VR more of as a spectrum of layering different elements of fantasy into your reality. It goes from very lightweight, which is AR, if you think of like Google Glasses, or what is now the HoloLab, or the HoloLens from Microsoft, or the Magic Leap headset. You're seeing the world around you, but just with a little extra. So we've done a lot of work in that. We've had a lot of projects doing that, to all the way to virtual reality, where you are completely isolated from the world, but you are seeing nothing but what has been created for you. So I
think I got one of those things free with my phone, right?
Yeah, something. So that's called mobile VR, and that has a certain plus side that you're untethered. You can walk around, but the downside is the computing power of your phone, although incredible, isn't anywhere near the high-tech computers available. So if you were to have a high-end VR, or what's called a computer PC-based VR experience, the crispness of the experience, the lag time of the experience creates an immersion that is really unlike anything else. It's really amazing. And to take that medium, which is incredibly new, and being able to define what is interesting and engaging about it is fantastic. And that's what really drives a lot of our people, what excites them, which makes them love their job every day.
And so you keep growing as Schell Games. Your intentions are to keep growing and having tripling employees every 10 years?
No, I don't think it's like that. We don't really set growth benchmarks. We kind of make games, and if we continue to make great things and get the opportunity to work with amazing partners and do our own thing, and if that begets other opportunities, then sure, we'll grow. But really the idea is to make experiences we're proud of with people we like, to make the world a better place.
Wonderful. Thanks so much. We're going to have our Dr. Laichak come back out, and then you two can fire some questions at each other.
All right, sounds great.
All right, thanks. Please visit schellgames.com for additional resources. We are going to bring back Amanda and Chris after the break. We'll see you when we return. And welcome back. All right, so both of you have your hand in education as well as interactivity. You're more interactive in person and putting in hands-on experience, and you're creating hands-on experience through virtual reality and augmented reality and immersive reality and all the realities that you Schell Games lives in. So I didn't know if you had any questions for one another and wanted to learn a little bit more. You knew?
Gosh, I actually do. I was fascinated whenever you were talking about your simulated economy, because that is, in essence, a little bit of what we do. Although ours is digitally enhanced, but really the underlying philosophy of learning through engagement of a simulated experience together is very much similar. So what did you... When did you guys really think about this being a great method of teaching? Like, how did that come about?
The BizTown concept?
Yeah, the BizTown concept. That's fascinating.
Been around for a while. I honestly don't know exactly when it was invented or how it was brought up. I don't know the history of BizTown, but I do know that our local office decided to get on board. It's something we've been wanting to do for many, 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 many years, to showcase the jobs in the local economy.
So I'm just fascinated. What is this BizTown experience? So I'm a student. I'm excited to join. So do I get a certain amount of currency? Do I get a job?
You got to earn your currency.
Okay, so what do I got to do?
Got to interview for a job in your school. You have to learn all about what it's like to be a good citizen in your school. You're going to learn all about citizenship, and you're going to learn about banking. You're going to learn about saving, spending.
Is there any way we can send some adults back to this and make them?
Well, actually, we would like to do some simulations with some adults before we bring the kids in.
Play test.
Yeah,
no,
that's what we want to do.
So that's something that we are always looking for too. Like we, for our experiences, we are always looking for all age groups, because so many of the things we do are for families together. So any age group. So if anyone's interested in play testing, go to schellgames.com /contacts. Please sign up. That's my little plug. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. That's what you're here for.
But no, we are looking forward to BizTown and having students come in and be the people who earn the money that day. They're the little workers. So the day at BizTown starts out.
And then they have to pay their taxes at the end of the day.
They have to pay their taxes. Well, the main idea.
But it sounds like
is
it's going to be fun, right? Less about the W-4s and stuff, but more about like just learning to be a good citizen. And working together.
Basically, they open up their own little business, so they have to take out a loan. They have to take out a business loan at the beginning of the day. And the idea is that they have to sell enough goods and services throughout the day to pay their loan back. And the loan officer from the bank keeps coming to visit them throughout the day
Oh my
to
goodness.
see if they're on track, if they've made enough points of sales to come and pay off their debt. And they also learn how to do personal savings, personal checking. They learn how to do all that throughout the day of JA, the JA BizTown Day. They also shop. They also shop other businesses, and they also work with other businesses combined in order to have the entire simulation work. So all the businesses depend on each other in order to bring a productive economy.
No, that's very true. Like we're really blessed at our studio because we've been growing at the same time Pittsburgh's been growing. So we're recruiting talent from all over the country and all over the world, and that idea of economic synergy where everyone's growing at the same time is very attractive. It's never been easier to come and attract world-class talent to Pittsburgh than it is right now.
I agree with that.
And so, art imitates life, I guess.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you both so much for being on, and we will share all of your contact information on Spotlight on Pittsburgh, on our Facebook, on my LinkedIn page, our Instagram page, our Twitter page, and everywhere else on the internet, as well as we hope you share ours as well so we can help get out more information about both of you.
Absolutely. Thank you so
Thanks
much.
so much. Thank you to Amanda and Chris for joining us on this episode of Spotlight on Pittsburgh, and thank you all for watching. Please follow us again on Facebook and Instagram at Spotlight on Pittsburgh, and join us again next time when we shine the spotlight on 2 new guests.